helping busy moms prep for the week with clean and healthy meals. Are you gonna help? All right, let's get to it.
Let's do it.
I'm not the kind of person that will prep the same thing for several days. For instance, like 5 days of lasagna or 5 days of a casserole. I like to take the items that take the longest and prep those on prep day, and then we just throw them into different meals that are quick and easy, and that way we get a lot of variety. When I meal prep, it almost always includes rice or quinoa because you can use it for so many different things. This rice steamer makes it so easy because you can just put it in here, turn it on, and walk away, and when it's done, it's done. So if you forget about it, it doesn't matter, you don't have to worry about it on the stove boiling over. And I am using brown rice. Oops, I have to rinse the rice first. It comes with a little scoop, and on the inside it has lines to determine, so line 2 cups of the rice, and I'm using brown rice. Guys, even the meal preps are super quick, right? So we're not having to put a lot of time on our prep day. And these are the things that take the longest. And you're just gonna pop the lid on, turn it on, walk away. And what you can do with your rice, you can have it for breakfast. You just use a little bit of coconut milk, your favorite berry, or maybe all the berries, add a little bit of psyllium husk and a drizzle of honey, and it's delicious. And I will throw it in my salad and also eat it as a side. Something super simple. And all the same things with quinoa, so you can just switch out your grains. I can use the rice steamer for my quinoa as well. Quinoa breakfast, quinoa on the salad, quinoa as a side. I like one night, I'm gonna go ahead and plan the meal with the roasted chicken, and then throughout the week, we're gonna do several things with that roasted chicken. If you have a big family, you can actually fix 1, 2, or 3 roasted chickens, and I would highly recommend you at least do 2, because that first meal, this one's probably going to be picked over, and you're going to want another one to be able to fill the week. I have an air fryer, and I will actually throw one in the air fryer and then roast the other one. It's super simple. You're going to do the exact same thing to the chicken as we're going to do in the roasting pan, but you're just going to put it on a baking sheet, throw it into the air fryer at 425 degrees. The skin is going to be nice and crispy, and the chicken is going to be succulent and delicious. And then you can still do all the things with it that I'm going to show you here. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to deal with this bird. I already rinsed it off. I towel dried it. We're first going to start with some salt and pepper. I prefer the bird over breasts and pieces because in the long run it's cheaper and you get all of it. And I got some beautiful rosemary out of my backyard. I tied it together so it's easier to come out. We're just gonna shove that in the bird. Garlic cloves that I just peeled, and we're gonna put those in there. So you see, this doesn't take much time. So if you work through the week and you're prepping on the weekend, it does not take very long. We're gonna shove a lemon in there. I feel like this poor chicken is so violated right now. 1/4 of an onion, and now I'm gonna give that a little squeeze, but we're gonna end it with the rest of that lemon. So I'm going to double butter, and I love to use butter for a couple of reasons. One, it's a very healthy fat, and it tastes amazing, and it helps to give brown, crispy skin. And now I'm gonna add some salt. Pepper. I personally like some paprika. That's, optional. You do you with all the things that you love. Those flavors that you enjoy best. I'm going to do a little more. It doesn't have a lid on. I'm just going to trust it. and some garlic powder. Give it a little bit more love, a little pat of some more butter. You know, the time involved really doesn't take long. And then while your chicken is roasting, you can get some other things ready and prepped. And bada bing, bada bang, you are ready for your week. Because if we don't prepare, then we can plan to fail. Everyone has heard it, and it's true. I'm on a mission to have optimal health because I feel better. Trust me, people like me better when I am feeling my body well, and I can, you know, love others better when I feel good. Brusha, brusha, brusha. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. That was the garlic, and now the paprika. Little shake of the paprika. I also love the color, that warm, rich color. Drop in the pepper, drop in the pepper. Salt. Little more pats of love, little pat of love. So 425 in that oven. What we're gonna do to begin with is we're gonna pop this in the roasting pan. We're gonna let this hang out in the oven for about 30 minutes. And that would be a great time for you to prep your veggies, but I already have all of my stuff prepared. And put it in the oven for 30 minutes while we get our veggies ready. I already prepared my vegetables, and you can do what you enjoy, but I love a little bit of sweet potato, and I did preheat this for like 2 minutes in the microwave just so it doesn't take longer than everything else. And I just slice them like this. You can do whatever you want to do. I do them like this because some people in my family don't like them, and that way they can identify that between the carrot. Onion just makes everything taste amazing. And I'm gonna leave it in kind of bigger chunks so people can pick around them if they don't like them, and if they like them, they can eat them. Onion is anti-inflammatory. It is cancer prevention. Just amazing, you know, low glycemic and nutrient dense. I'll be using a little bit of broth in the bottom of the pan just for some added moisture. Okay, I want to talk about this company for just a minute, Brodo. This is the best by far, other than my own, the best bone broth I have ever had as far as its clarity. It doesn't have any greasy feel, and the flavor and the nutritional value is on point. You can go on their website, you can read about them. I would love to become an affiliate, but for some reason I got turned down, and I also would love to interview the owner. So maybe one day that will be a dream come true. And if they would like to send me another box, I would love that as well. Another thing that I will prep is my chia pudding. Chia pudding is so good for the gut, and it's very easy to prepare and eat for several mornings. I like to mash a banana for a little bit of sweetness and a little bit more texture. And this will be probably 2 servings. So adjust for the family, and you can use this as a side or the main deal and do it like a parfait. 1/4 cup of chia. This is probably about a cup of coconut milk. A little vanilla. I like to add a touch of honey. And this is totally optional, but I love almond extract. And so I just put a touch in there. Just gonna stir that up a bit. And I think that was a little bit more milk than I thought. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more chia. And then when I'm ready to serve it, I will put berries on here. I will sprinkle some psyllium husk on top for some extra fiber, even though we're getting a ton in here. I'll put this in with my granola, And that's another thing that you can prep today is some granola for the week and some healthy muffins. I have wonderful recipes on my website. Give that a little shaky so that that can mix really well together and the chia does not end up on the bottom. And then we're just gonna put that in the refrigerator and you just grab and go. Another thing I like to do is get my veggies prepped. And so I had moved my camera and forgot to plug the microphone in. So as I'm making the chia seeds, sorry that the microphone, the volume is not so great, but I don't wanna ditch it because I think it's really important. So all is fixed and we'll move on. So I like to go ahead and prep my vegetables because we need at least 50% raw every day to hit the mark with digestive enzymes. We have enzymes, but we need our enzymes supported. And when we're eating a high processed diet, the opposite happens. It's actually causing our enzymes to get depleted. So we want to make sure that that doesn't happen. So we go ahead and prep our veggies for the week, and that way grab and go. So they're done. Now let's get our broccoli. I'm just gonna do just one. Get your little broccoli ready, little bite size. Just super easy, and you know, you can have a lot more variety if you'd like. So look at that, look at there, honey child, look at there. So nice and pretty, you're on the go, grab it, go feed the kids, and have a little side of cheese for some nice protein. This is how we do it. Okay, my microphone died and I didn't know it. So we made the Greek yogurt dip, delicious dill dip. And my granddaughter helped me do that, and then we sang a nice little song that you won't get to hear. But what we did was we did 1 cup of Greek yogurt. We used 3/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/4 teaspoon of Worcestershire. And I was talking about how I wish there was a healthier alternative. Amino acids just aren't the same. Since it was only a 1/4 teaspoon, I really wasn't that worried about it. We used a 1/2 teaspoon of dill and an 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne pepper and a 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt. And it was delicious. And so now I have prepped in my refrigerator chia pudding, my veggies, my dip to go with my veggies. You know how when people get married, they have the first look? Well, this is the first look with the chicken. Look at that. It's already looking fabulous. Okay, let's throw in our veggies. Feels so good in my hood tonight. I don't know the rest of it. Something about the west side. Okay. So sweet potatoes, carrots, potatoes. This is one of my favorite dinners. It's just so easy. It's so easy. And okay, so first of all, one night, right? And then there's leftovers. We can use this chicken for so many things. Top the salad, chicken salad, enchiladas, chicken tacos. Serve it with a side of steamed vegetables. All just, you know, super quick. Done. The hardest part, done. Okay, we're gonna put a little bit of brodo, just so that has a little moisture down at the bottom. Smells so good. And then I'm gonna add some salt and pepper. We're big garlic fans, so some garlic powder. And I'm gonna do just a little bit of paprika. Just a little bit of paprika. By the way, if you guys don't mind, go over and give my Instagram a little bit of love. Entire Healing is my Instagram. INTYRE. We're gonna put the cover on this and then we're gonna put it in the oven. Okay, we're gonna pop this in the oven probably for about 45 minutes. We have the chicken just hanging out for a few minutes because that really helps for it to be more tender and juicy. I wanted to mix those in with the broth really well. Let them cook for about 5 more minutes, and then everything's gonna be ready for dinner, and I'm super excited about that. So this isn't, you know, a ton of prep stuff, but we can literally use this chicken. And like I said, if you have a big family, you know, get 2 chickens or maybe even 3, all done at the same time. There's not a lot of time to prep. And then you can make chicken enchiladas, chicken nachos. Chicken nachos would be even simpler because you're just taking some good corn chips such as the masa, which if you have not tried the masa, I'm gonna show them to you. The masa chips are made with organic corn. Corn's not what's bad for you, it's the way that they process the corn. So the masa chips are made with the organic corn and with 100% beef tallow, and these taste amazing. So you could order the masa chips. I'll put my link in the description below. And if you use my code, you save 20%. They're fabulous, you won't be sad. But this would make a quick dinner where you just put down your chips, you heat them up for about 5 minutes in the air fryer, throw your chicken up on top of there with some black beans, some corn, and some cheese and some salsa, and you have an amazing dinner. And then another thing that you can do with that is make chicken salad. I have another video where we are actually breaking down that chicken salad with some Greek yogurt, some grapes, some salt, and some celery. It's so delicious. So many different ways that you can make chicken salad, but I like mine a little bit on the sweet side. And then you can also take this chicken and you can just throw it in your salad. Just take a handful of mixed greens, which takes 10 seconds, and your chicken, add some apples and cashews and some delicious olive oil and vinegar up on top, and just good to go. So super easy, and I will be coming out with some more prep ideas for you, and I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I want to thank you so much for being here. If you would please give a little love and support by sharing this information with those you know would appreciate it. Leave me a comment below and let me know some of the things that you're doing to help make the week a little bit easier with some easy prep. You guys have a great day.